Thank
I'm
you for
going
your
to bed.
participation.
Yeah, I don't like this. Can you hear Ralph?
I think he muted himself. Ralph, you're muted. You're muted.
Participation. Wow. Okay, so really cool setup to kind of get us interested. Adorable dog because so cute. And finding out what's going on through the text messages, the filmmakers played this really, really smart. And I like what they did with the Zoom meeting, how they had everybody in, how they set that up, I guess, is what they edited in, I'm imagining. The storyline of this, holy crap, you think you know what's going on, and then all of a sudden you don't. The twist in this, it's like one twist after another after another. And yeah, really nice job.
Well, this was creepy. It kind of makes Zoom meetings a little more terrifying. And the idea of how this just happened, where it was randomly selected, it definitely makes the heart race. It's a little nerve wracking because I know they sometimes watch with Zoom meetings because they've had lawsuits and stuff. Just makes it where it's a high tech world where it's kind of like you don't know who's listening and what could happen, especially if they can trace your location and send assassins after you. Certainly not a fun game. It's just something going on that's different. I feel for Andrea. It sounds like this film kind of started out with a story where he just wanted to tell her he loved her, and his friend Ralph was goading him over it, and then it turns into literally the worst night of their lives since they get murdered. I would like to know why they were selected and why this happened. That's kind of an open-ended question, but it is creepy nonetheless. I just wish that question was answered about why they were selected and what goes further with this participation and what round 3 is. And if it picks different random people and people are just dying all over the world like this, or what. It's definitely an interesting world that was built. It's just we need a little more context, but it definitely keeps the heart racing because it's quite terrifying.
Participation. This really sneaks up on you in a fun way. You don't see the threat coming until it comes. Using of Zoom, especially in the age where Zoom is so heavily prevalent, was, I think, a great device to frame this movie around. There was a lot of exposition to warn us of this confession of love coming that we did get towards the end, but not much foreshadowing on the survey that they must at some point opted into or were forced into, unless it's something that I missed. So if it was meant to kind of sneak up on you, it definitely did. You definitely established the camaraderie of the friendship, so it allows us to have an emotional connection to them during their trauma. I also like the ending, how it doesn't end for her; it still goes on. So it's like round 3, so it manages to keep the terror of the thriller alive even after the ending of the film.
Participation is built upon this fear of telling someone the truth, telling someone how you really feel, and having dealt with this burdening guilt of keeping a secret for so long and needing it to come out because it's the death of you if it doesn't otherwise. And so here we have a film where we have a handful of characters, and we find very quickly within a text conversation that this gentleman wants to reveal his feelings for this woman that he's always had feelings for. They hop on a Zoom call, and his friend blocks him in the sense of coming in and ruining this moment because he's gone mad and he's not thinking straight, and he's essentially stepping in to provide his friend from potentially making a really bad decision, even despite the fact that our person here has already made up their mind. They're in a Discord call, they're having conversations, and throughout this conversation, a bot comes in to their video call, and this bot is deadly, as we've gone to find out, as they decide to participate in the survey. As they are not correct, they find that it could be the death of them, as one of their friends who had rudely interrupted the party here has now been taken out of the picture. And I think this moment that he has with her is kind of bittersweet because he's choosing to tell her how he feels, and he's doing it in such a way that, you know, he's sacrificing himself because he doesn't want her to meet a demise. So he sort of sacrifices himself, but also tells the truth in doing so, which gives this very twisted meaning of whether or not to share your feelings. Will sharing your feelings be the death of you? And having that moment of acceptance for getting it out there and accepting what fate that might come despite telling your truth.
Participation was a fun watch. I love the unique take on a killer's game and how the characters have to answer questions in order to survive. The film was fun. I enjoyed the little character moments between Alan and Andrea and the overall friendship turn slash relationship. I thought the film had some great emotional beats that allows viewers to sink into the world and the characters and really connect with them to the end, especially with Alan's character as he is the protagonist of the story.